Hello, it's Bailey and welcome back to my channel for the final vlog of Squash That Series tournament. In case you've missed it, this is week 5 out of 5. This is the final week and we are in a head-to-head between Catherine and Danielle. These two people have cheerleaders built up behind them that are helping them get to the finish. This week we are playing a game called Traffic Light, which doesn't describe the game at all. Basically what we're trying to do this week is read books that are the furthest along in series. The book the number is in the series is how many points it is worth. I will admit this started on Wednesday. Today is Friday evening, and so I'd like to bring you up to speed on my rating a little bit, and then I have some other information I might share. So firstly, on Wednesday I finished off all the things that I was in the middle of. They weren't necessarily the best for this game, but the audiobooks I got to finish were Jade Shards by Fonda Lee. That was a number 0.75 in the series, and I believe I gave that 4 stars. Then I also finished off the audiobook of The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, a good old book 1. That is always a 5-star for me. I love that series so much. I am rereading it again for the Throwback Book Club that Danielle and Lizzie are hosting, so hopefully I'll get to some of the other installments here quickly. And then I finished off The Last Widow by Karen Slaughter. I gave that one 2 stars, but that was a book number 9, so that got me some decent points there. And so those were what I was like really already sitting at the end of. I did then start a book 13. I'm reading the last book in the Series of Unfortunate Events series, The End, and so that will get me 13 points. And then my big audiobook that I started was The Silent Wife by Karen Slaughter, which I finished number 9, and this is number 10. So those are really what I'm working through. I did end up, because this is what I was working on finishing, if I was to finish another prompt for last week, I did finish Duke Most Wicked by Lenora Bell just today, this afternoon on Friday, and this is a book 3. I did give this one 3 stars. I had been highly anticipating this because I really loved the second book, but I had not loved the first book, and I would say this was more back on par with the first book. Again, I give it 3 stars. It was still a good time. I honestly just didn't think these characters were very deep, like they were very one-dimensional. I just didn't feel it. So 3 stars for this one. And then kind of my plans for the rest of the week. I was already started with Ice Planet Barbarians. This is a book 1, but I kind of want to end Squash That Series not in the middle of anything. So I'll probably try to finish this, and then I have another book I have to read like this week, and so also a book 1. I don't know if I'll do it or not, but I need to read Legends and Lattes very soon, so this could still happen this week. I know it's only a book 1, but it's something I need to read. So we will see. In terms of long books to physically read after that, I don't really have much. I could read the 4th book in the Chestnut Spring series, but those aren't short by any means. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. This wasn't the best game for me. I had those decent options of the Series of Unfortunate Events book and the Karen Slaughter series, but I don't really have much else that's very far in series. So I'll do what I can. But I also know that this video can kind of be an information drop. Many of you noticed that last week I did not mention who we actually had as a bonus cheerleader in week 4. I was still an active player at the beginning of week 4. And so during challenge day, when we spun for a random cheerleader before we got to pick a My Choice cheerleader, we did land on Tara from Tara Reads. And in that week 3 video, I kind of like did the random one and left it in there and did just like a and then cut it off, because after the fact, when we did get to choose our cheerleader, we chose to stick with Tara. And so Tara has been a great bonus cheerleader, little does she know. And so when I joined Team Catherine, Catherine's team had chosen Pris as their bonus cheerleader. So for all of week 4, we had Pris and Tara also unknowingly helping our team. And now this week we got to get some rewards last week, which Catherine did choose to get 2 slices extra of Traffic Light on our wheel to pick the game. So I'm very happy that we're actually playing Traffic Light after using her stars to have them on the wheel, but we did use one to get a bonus cheerleader this week as well, and we were going between using Pris or Tara again. And I may have tried a little hard to sway Catherine to choose Tara again. I just have faith in Tara because she's been playing as a cheerleader for most of the game and proven that she is dedicated and still going to play hard as a cheerleader. Pris is a very strong reader. I got to know Pris during Wonderthon, which is a readathon Lizzie from Lizzie's Literary Life hosts, and she's such a strong reader. I just was unsure how dedicated she was to sequels still since becoming a cheerleader. And I also mentioned that we are like switching months this week. We're dragging this readathon out into February, and so I just wasn't sure if people were still like, if their hearts were in it. So I did sway Catherine to choose Tara, and so far we're what, 3 days in? Not even quite 3 days in, and Tara is proving to be a very good cheerleader, helping us. Pris would have also been a good option. They've both been in the form, so there's your little bonus information now. And now you know why I couldn't tell you last week, because we chose to take her again. I also do know who the other team chose as their bonus cheerleaders. Spoiler, they spent all their stars on getting bonus cheerleaders, and so they actually have 4 bonus cheerleaders, and I do know who they are, but I'll save that information for a later update because now I've been talking for 8 minutes. This is gonna be a long vlog. Thanks for buckling in. Hello, it is now Sunday. So yesterday I didn't get as much done as I wanted to. I finished a Magic Tree House book because it was Magic Tree House live show day. So I finished Hurry Up Houdini by Mary Pope Osborne, and so that gives me half a point because it takes less than an hour, even though it's like the 70-something-th book in the series. That gets me half a point. But today, Sunday, I am already getting really close to finally finishing The Silent Wife by Karen Slaughter. I have like 2 hours and 48 minutes left in the audiobook, and I'm listening to that on 1.75 speed, so getting pretty close there. Do I admit what I'm up to? I'm being naughty and I'm reading a standalone today because I have a book club meeting on Tuesday before this is over. So I've been just like trying to speed read that so we can pretend that it's not happening. I'm kind of embarrassed that I'm even doing it, but I have to. I have FOMO and I can't miss book club. And so it's only like 11 o'clock right now. I'm almost like to my goal in that standalone book and almost done with this audiobook. So then hopefully I can work on some other things. I would like to finally finish that A Series of Unfortunate Events book today. Again, another good point scorer. I keep seeing that and I'm just not getting to it. So hopefully today's the day. Here's the deal. I do know that I was chosen as one of the bonus cheerleaders for the opposing team. So I know that my points are counting towards both teams. The other team you guys will now know since the readathon is over. The other team has me, Martine, Nessa, and then they did a random one and got Stasia. So they have 4 bonus cheerleaders this week. My team doesn't know that. And so all of our points are counting towards both teams, and we have Tara. So Tara, me, Martine, Nessa, and Stasia, all of our books are actually counting towards both teams. The thing is, Catherine's team, the team that I am on, has less cheerleaders. So the number our books are worth are getting divided by a smaller number. So the points are actually counting more towards Team Catherine. And I have promised, and I do promise, that this knowledge is not affecting my reading at all this week. I had books, I told even Lizzie before this week, before we started, I was like, this is what I'm planning on getting to, and I have not strayed from that. So I'm still reading big things far in series, and especially knowing that my points are still helping my own team more, obviously, is still very big incentive to do well. I also just want to say that Team Catherine has been winning this whole week so far because Danielle was actually out of town until like a day or so ago, and so our points updates, we have seemed to be very far ahead. But I'm still very scared because now Danielle is back, and I know if there's a will, there's a way, and I do think that Danielle will be putting full effort forward these last few days. So I'm really just hoping that we can keep our momentum going as well. I will say Team Catherine does have the strongest cheerleader on our team, and the other team, since they did not have the knowledge of what this person would have available to them this week, did not choose that person as one of their bonus cheerleaders. So shout out to Amanda from Amanda's Reading and Writing Life, because she is reading the In Death series by Nora Roberts, or JD Robb, and she was already like 50 books into it. So I'm pretty sure she read book 50, 51, 52, 53. I think she's currently on 54, and she's hoping to actually get up to 58. So those are like huge point scorers that we have to our advantage this week. So that's kind of what's shaking out in the readathon right now. I'm really sad this is the last weekend day of this like whole expansive readathon, and so I really just want to put my heart into it this last weekend day, and then the last few days we'll have Monday and Tuesday during the week, and then it's gonna be over. It makes me sad, but I do need to move on to other things in my personal life and reading life. So gonna finish out strong. I will update you once I finish more things. Things will be finished today. Things for this readathon will be finished by me today. Okay, Squash That series has long been ended. It's like over a week since the actual readathon ended, but I knew that I wasn't uploading this for a hot minute, and I instantly got sick as soon as Squash That series ended, so I still sound very stuffy today, but I need to get this filmed so that I can present to you with the final week of Squash That series. I'm not sure what I last updated you on, but on the final day of Traffic Light, the final day of the readathon, I finished After That Night by Karen Slaughter, which was number 11 in the Will Trent series, and I'm now completely caught up on that series, which I'm very glad. I feel in my heart, I say this all the time, that I should be done reading that series, but I know in my heart that when the next book comes out, I'll pick it up, probably for Squash That series. Then I also finished The End by Lemony Snicket, the last book in the series of Unfortunate Events series. I did not like that series at all. That's another one I probably should have just quit when I realized I wasn't liking it. I'll be happy to unhaul those soon to clear like a big chunk of space on my shelf. So again, happy it's finished, it's over with now, and that was a 13-point book. And then the final night, I was either going to push to finish Ice Planet Barbarians and get 1 point, or I really wanted to have finished or caught up on the Heartstopper series during this, since I had already reread 4 of the volumes. So I decided to jump in the bath. It was like pretty late at night already. I think it was like 9 o'clock already, and I read Heartstopper Volume 5 and I gave it 5 stars. 3 and 4 were both 4 stars for me, so being back at number 5 and giving it a 5 stars felt very nice to end off the readathon. So in week 5 for Traffic Light, I read a total of 10 books and earned 49.25 points. I think the 0.25 points is hilarious because I read a book that was technically like a 0.75. Jade Shards, is that the one I read during this week? So that's just like a funny score to have. But the final 2 days I was watching, because we were no longer getting full points updates, and all the stats that I could share still made it seem like Catherine's team was winning. Like there was nothing I could really share to hint that Danielle's team was catching up. So I was kind of watching it happen, just like, this is gonna be a close game, and it was, because when I went to sleep, Catherine's team was still winning, and then when I woke up in the morning, Danielle had pulled out the win, like just barely. The final scores were 121.15 Catherine versus Danielle 123.44. So literally won by like just over 2 points. That is crazy. For like a whole week readathon with so many people helping. That's really fun. It was sad to have to tell my team that I was cheerleading for that we lost, but congratulations to Danielle. I honestly cannot believe Danielle pulled this off. I can believe, because she's very determined, but she's also just like a will they won't they, because I did see her submit, what did she submit? Something absurd, like Crescent City or something, a book 1 that is massive, and I was like, oh, Danielle, what are you doing? But she came in with some good options at the end. So congratulations to Danielle. And lastly, I just want to end by saying thank you once again to everybody who participated. It always blows my mind how good of a group that we get for this readathon. Not only with a competitive round like this, everyone is so competitive while also being respectful, and nobody was a sore loser. Like, it was still fun to get to continue as a cheerleader, and I think everybody handled their win-losses very well, so thank you. This readathon definitely feels like a safe space for me and something I'm very proud of to have hosted and stayed consistent with, and I think that everyone's still having fun. So I do have another idea for this year for a short non-competitive round, and don't quote me on this, but I think it'll be 4 days, like a long weekend, and I'm looking at Labor Day weekend, so don't quote me on that. Also, let me know down below if that like absolutely doesn't work for you, if you already know that, because I'm clearly still open to changing those dates. And I think that'll be, again, just a fun, quick round to get everybody back together to do a little series reading before we maybe potentially do another large round. So with that, Squash That series round, what round was this? 8 is coming to a close. Thank you so much for spending some time with me for the last 5 weeks and 2 days, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!